So we are back with the second video in my Reparenting series, and today we are going to talk about a money belief that may still be impacting your life. So this is a video for you to watch if you have any sort of money issues from your childhood, which pretty much means all of us. So if this is something that you think that you might need in your life, then be sure to keep watching. What's up guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen. I am a spiritual life and business coach, and you have found my YouTube channel. This is where I bring you 2 new videos every week all about the art of combining manifestation and mindset work together so that you can create your best life. If that sounds like something that you are interested in, then be sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button. Okay, so we're back again today with our second reparenting video. And so today I wanted to walk you through a very specific instance that may have happened to you as a child that might not seem like it was a big deal, but may have impacted the way that you see money today. So just to recap, if you are new to this channel, if you didn't see my other reparenting video, I'm just going to quickly recap what reparenting is before we dive into this video. So reparenting is just the process that anyone can undertake, and in fact I think everyone should undertake, in order to heal any issues that we have lingering on from our childhood. So it is just a fact of life that you as a child, as a young person, were probably not given something in your childhood that kind of left a wound or an imprint on you that may still be causing you pain and causing you limitations today. So the process of reparenting is really about going in, figuring out what those things are, and learning how to heal them ourselves. I know at first this sounds like we might be blaming our parents for what happened in the past, but the truth is we are all imperfect people. We are all raised by imperfect people. So there is no way that our parents could have fulfilled our needs at all points in time. It is just not possible. So this is not about blaming your parents, but this is about creating a way for you to heal from these things that happened in your past that may have been way more traumatic than you might have ever even realized. So let's walk you through a very simple scenario today that may need a little bit of healing work from you. And let me just show you what this one very sort of fleeting, superficial, maybe seems like not a big deal instance can really have a lot of impact on the rest of your life. Okay, so think back now to when you were a child, and think back to maybe going to the mall with mom and dad, and you're walking down the toy aisle somewhere and you're looking at something that you really want and you say, "Oh my gosh, mom, I really want that." And your mom looks at you and says, "Sorry, no, we can't afford that right now." So that's a pretty simple example, right? Like that, I'm sure has happened to most of us at one point in time. And of course you understand it from the parents' point of view because they are probably being very accurate. They're probably telling you that they just don't have money to spend on this thing right now. So again, this isn't about blaming the parents. But let's dive in a little bit further and see what other messages you could have picked up from this one instance that may still be impacting your life. So when you are a little kid, of course you don't know what's going on in your parents' bank account. Of course you don't know what the real money situation is. You probably have no concept about how much money your parents earn. All you know as a child is that there is something that you want in this world and that your parents are telling you no. So let's think about what that means for a moment, right? That might turn into a different message. In one instance, or especially over time, it might turn into a message that you are not worthy of spending money on. It might turn into a message of, you do not deserve to have what you really want. Or perhaps you're looking at your parent and your parent is really upset with you for even asking this question. Maybe they get angry with you. Maybe there's some other like negative feelings coming off of them. So maybe from this one instance, you get the message of you asking for something, you voicing your needs, you saying what it is that you want into the world is a bad thing, is an unsafe thing, and that you are maybe greedy for even asking it, right? It could also mean that maybe the lesson that you got from this, and this could come up in different ways, it depends of course on your childhood. Usually this stuff comes up over and over again, and that's where we get the message from. But this could come from a message that life is hard and you just don't get to have what you want. Maybe your parents said something like that to you as well. Or maybe the message you got from this was that you just shouldn't trouble people with what you want, because when you open your mouth to talk about what you want, it makes other people upset. Okay, so these are just the top of my head things that you could have taken away from this one very simple experience that so many of us have experienced as a child, right? So of course, like I said, every time I do a reparenting video, I just have to reiterate, it isn't about the parents. You know, I know parents are busy and they're all doing the best that they can in the moment, but it is our job now as adults, as people that want to be the conscious creators of our life, to go back and look at these messages that we helped to create, that we perceived from the situation, and to go in and heal them. Because any single one of these ideas, if you are still carrying it around as an adult, could be incredibly harmful to the person you are right now. So let's think about that for a moment. If you don't feel that you have been deemed worthy of your desires, then I'm going to take a flying guess that you probably don't have many of your desires in your current reality right now. And that's not to say that you are lazy or that this is true that you don't deserve them, but anything that we decide is a belief in our world, we will create as a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you will go around the rest of your life creating that outcome without even realizing where the source of that came from. So that is one example about how this instance could be very much worth you going back in and doing some reparenting work on. The other example of feeling greedy or evil or unlovable for wanting something, like that could have very real world repercussions in your life right now, in that maybe in your romantic relationships currently, you feel like you can't tell people what you really want. You feel like you can't bring up your desires in a safe way because your desires were not met in a safe environment, right? So that is another way that this incident could have an impact on your life. If the lesson that you got was you just don't get to have what you want and life is unfair, again, you are probably replaying this out over and over in your current world and you are still thinking life is unfair. But again, so much of the world that we create comes from what we project, comes from our perceptions, and comes from our belief structure. So I just want you to imagine for a moment how much you might accidentally be limiting yourself based on this one belief that you got from this incident as a child, right? And so now you can look back at that incident and see the other perspective and see that the lesson that you got from this was not accurate. But you are still choosing to uphold this belief as an adult, and that is the thing that becomes dangerous and limiting. Okay, the last point I wanted to touch on. If you felt like even having a desire made your family uncomfortable, and so that taught you to not speak about your desires anymore, again, that could show up as you just not being able to even acknowledge the things that you want in life. And so your life is obviously going to be very difficult. It's going to be difficult to create a happy vision for yourself if you don't know what makes you happy. It's going to be difficult for you to find your soul purpose and your passion in life if you are so used to dulling down what your insides are telling you, right? So that is another way that this one very simple incident could come back and haunt you today, okay? So I just wanted to go through this today because I wanted to show you how an incident, again, I think so many of us can relate to this, how this one thing that to our parents at the time did not seem like a big deal can have real world ramifications in our life right now. So again, I'm not saying this to blame anyone. What I'm doing here is to give you the tools to go back in and to understand where these ideas came from, where your limiting beliefs came from, where this old behavior patterning came from. Because when you understand it, then you can begin to heal it. When you identify it, that's when you can begin to go in and do the work. Otherwise, you are going to keep going through your life thinking that these things are happening to you over and over and over again, and not realizing that you are taking a part in creating them. So in last week's reparenting video, I gave you a framework to help you start to go in and do this yourself. But let's just kick off the ball again today and to, again, give you a little bit of a perspective shift on what has happened. So of course, when you're a kid, you are basically just your subconscious brain, and there isn't a part of you that can kind of take this sort of situation and look at it from another perspective. So whatever message you got in that moment is the one that is stuck with you, right? So now that you're an adult, you can look back and give more understanding to the other side. Understand that your parents were probably stressed out about money, about time, maybe they're in a bad mood, whatever the situation was. So you can now go back in and see that the message that you received was not necessarily accurate, and that you do not have to still go around your life believing in this thing. So if you really want to go back and do the healing work, I'd suggest going back to the last video and going through the 5 questions that I outlined in there. But I think I gave you a good idea today about how this stuff works and how you can begin to do some healing work on yourself. So I would love to know what your guys' thoughts were on this. I would love to know if you have ever done reparenting work, and if this incident that I talked about today, if this resonates with you. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate you spending time in your busy week hanging out here with me, as always. If you want to learn more about me, you can come on over to my website. I have a free series for you guys to sign up for over there called How to Feel Better. It'll really help you to get a grip on your mindset and to start feeling better today. So be sure to go over there and grab that. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to hear more from me, you can stick around with the next video right here. And if you want to subscribe, go ahead and hit the subscribe button right here. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I'm wishing you an amazing healing week. And as always, just remember, get ready for the miracle. See you guys.